In a world where pharmaceutical companies walk a fine line between corporate profits and society's health, an interesting ethical dilemma unfolds. On one hand, Big Pharma is enticed to overcharge for their medications to protect their shareholders' interest and is reluctant to pour money into research and development to channel their efforts into sales. However, consumers are dependent on those life-saving drugs while often financing the pharmaceutical industry through taxes. As we explore this ethical dilemma, we ask the question, can pharmaceutical companies fulfill their moral duty of ensuring patient care while being for-profit organizations? As a starting point, Big Pharma refers to large pharmaceutical companies as an aggregate that often holds significant political influence. The pharmaceutical industry is essential in healthcare as it researches, develops, manufactures, and distributes essential medications to improve public health. Those companies usually hesitate between prioritizing profits and ensuring access to medications, which results in public concerns about overpricing medications and thereby impeding their access. It can be argued that the genesis of the pharmaceutical industry dates back to 1804 when a German scientist developed morphine from opium. Since then, a number of essential drugs have been developed. However, controversies about the rising prices of essential drugs started in the early 2000s. Following those controversies were some regulatory changes to expand essential medications access, such as the Affordable Care Act. More recently, the COVID-19 vaccines were developed and distributed in record time, while also highlighting concerns about their prices. Now let's explore the diverse perspective that shaped this dilemma. In our quest to understand the Big Pharma dilemma, it's important to recognize the supporters of pharmaceutical companies. While the industry faces criticism, it's essential to acknowledge the contribution made by these companies. Beyond saving lives, Big Pharma plays a pivotal role in fueling economic growth. Here's how. These companies provide employment to millions worldwide, from scientists and researchers to manufacturing and administrative staff. These substantial R&D investments not only advance healthcare, but also stimulate innovation across various sectors. This often results in the creation of new technologies with broader applications. Pharmaceutical exports contribute significantly to nations' balance of trade and promote international trade relationships. Many pharmaceutical companies operate in regions with limited economic opportunities. They bring investment, infrastructure, and development to these areas, helping to reduce poverty. The industry contributes substantial tax revenue, which governments can allocate towards public services like education and healthcare. The pharmaceutical industry attracts investor capital, which, in turn, supports other sectors of the economy, including startups and small businesses. Supporters of Big Pharma argue that pharmaceutical companies are not just profit-driven entities. They are also pioneers of medical breakthroughs, vital contributors to economic growth, and major employers. While concerns about drug pricing and ethics are valid, it's important to strike a balance and recognize the positivity impact that these companies have on society. Now let's understand the opposer's point of view. While Big Pharma provides various treatment and life-saving solutions, it is crucial to analyze what really fuels their drive to succeed. Opponents of Big Pharma often question where the company's priorities lie. With medications like Gilead charging $2,000 and more to their patient for their COVID-19 drug remdesivir, it is valid to question whether this company has the patient's best interest at heart. It is disheartening for certain people that a company with such resources does not allow access to their drug during times of turmoil. Critics claim that these companies mark up prices based on the simple fact that the price of demand is almost infinite. Anyone would pay to fight for their life or the life of their loved ones, and these companies take advantage of that to make a buck. Another concern is the methods used by Big Pharma to grow their businesses. Instead of investing heavily in research and development to build new technologies and treatments, these large pharmaceutical companies such as Valeant simply acquire companies which already proven products that target the general consumer and not the sick individuals. For some people with chronic illnesses, further work into discovering new treatments is their only hope. Essentially, these large pharmaceutical companies have become a marketing agency, and Big Pharma opponents claim that if these unethical marketing practices persist, drug discovery will die. Also, Big Pharma companies have financial relationships with healthcare providers, researchers, and various governmental institutions. This leads to certain shady practices when it comes to clinical trials and regulatory processes. Overall, there is a lot of work that Big Pharma companies must do in order to gain back the trust of the general public. What are the next steps to address these complex challenges? A central issue is drug pricing. Gilead's pricing of remdesivir, developed with significant taxpayer funding, ignited controversy. To progress, pharmaceutical firms should reconsider their pricing models, striving for a balance between profitability and widespread drug access. Collaboration with governments and healthcare institutions could help establish fairer pricing structures. Valiant Pharmaceuticals exemplifies the risks of an aggressive cost-cutting approach over R&D. While efficiency matters, entirely abandoning R&D restrains innovation and neglects health challenges. Firms should find a middle ground, efficiently allocating resources while encouraging innovation. Mergers and acquisitions, while tempting for growth, can hamper R&D. Companies should weigh the long-term consequences on research capabilities and drug innovation. Striking a balance between efficiency and innovation is crucial. In conclusion, it is important to continuously monitor the industry and try to find the right balance between the many trade-offs of the free market and regulations. Thanks for listening.